This week on Sign Dawgs, we're going to Chavez Law in Plano, Texas. They need channel letters, but their building has some structures on it that's going to make that kind of difficult. What are we going to do?
Every day we look at signs. Some are beautiful, others not so much. For a business, any business, a good sign is crucial. So where does a good sign come from? Who creates these tantalizing works of art? In the Dallas-Fort Worth Metroplex, it's done right here by the people at Signs Manufacturing, the people we call the Sign Dawgs.
My name is Guillermo Chavez. I'm an attorney and I have a law firm in Plano. We provide services to the community all over Dallas-Fort Worth.
We bought this building last year in July. We moved from Richardson to Plano.
And up in the world.
Well, I don't know if we're moving up in the world, but it's ours.
Right.
We're focusing on mediation, so we have a lot of mediation rooms that our lawyers will be handling the mediations. We focus on Spanish-speaking.
So you're providing a niche
Exactly.
for that. That's
Exactly.
really valuable.
So, and they don't have to go to court. We can settle their disputes here
Right.
without having to go to court. So it's a neat process without having that added expense.
Remembering my last mediation.
Right.
The problem that we face with Chavez Law is that he's got these two chimney things that stick off his building. And the sign is going to mount over the two chimneys and down through the middle. Well, there's a big gap in the middle. And so those letters need something to support them. I can't just make them hover in the air yet. So what we're going to do is we're going to build a raceway, but the raceway is going to be very thin on the ends and then thicken out in the middle to fill that gap so that we don't have some weird sunlight pouring through it. It looks strange. We'll put all our power supplies and everything in the middle part where it's thick enough, and then down on the ends all we'll have is the wiring going out to the letters. This creates another issue, however. The raceway that's going on the building, ideally they want it to be the same color as the building. But the building has kind of this old brickwork on it, and the brickwork's not a uniform color. It's not painted or anything like that. So when you're faced with those challenges, what you've got to do is you've got to take out your color book from Sherwin-Williams or wherever, put it on the wall, and then stand well back and try to match the color. And when in doubt, go darker. Don't ever do lighter, because the lighter colors will always attract the eye first. And after all, this is just the support mechanism for the sign. You don't want to attract the eye.
We also have a foundation called GJ Chavez Cares. We give money to different charities in the community. And we, my employees nominate the charitable organizations and we donate to those individual charities. Now it's time for GJ Chavez to care about the community and provide to that. Sure. I mean, we get from the community, now it's time to give back.
The original design was a monument sign, literally a sign jutting down the road right there. But after looking at the zoning laws here in Plano, it didn't fit. You have to go and change the law for me to put the sign there. So I talked to Juan Carlos there at Signs Manufacturing, and he says, well, I'm looking for something different because we can't do it. And he gave me some suggestions, and he gave me that raceway sign, the Chavez Law Center sign. And he sent me some samples of it, and it's a black sign, but that turns bright at night. And so we put the sign, and I thought, man, that's gonna look awesome.
This is our Eagle Wall, I guess, if you call it. This is where all our attorneys have a license for all different courts. Looks like we're lacking some, but it's kind of neat. And I mean, people that walk through our mediation rooms and or our offices that we get to see.
You do, in fact, know what you're doing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. For 22 years, we do in fact know what we're doing. It's been a long time.
Day Black Night White has been around for quite some time. In the past, the concept was to have a dark letter during the day and a lit white letter at night. Although I don't have a good sample, I do have some Greenplex, and we'll show you an example of Day Black Night White, but this would be black during the day and light during the night when it comes on. So this is the old way of doing it. There was a time when a small transition when we used perforated aluminum on the faces, but very expensive, and they came out with vinyl almost immediately, and we've been using that ever since.
So whenever a claim that comes in from the hospital, it doesn't get to lawsuit first. It comes to us to see if we can motivate the insurance company and show them the error of their ways.
Sure.
Correct this before it gets to litigation and we sue you not only for what you owe us, but for attorney's fees, interest, penalties, and so on and so forth.
It used to be that if you wanted a sign that was black during the day, at night it kind of lights up black, which is to say not very bright. There used to be a material that was a type of plastic that was supposed to make it light up white at night, but really what it did is it just kind of made it light up muddy dark at night, and it never looked good and nobody was really happy with it. Now, we have a product called Day-Night Vinyl, and it's a perforated vinyl material that's opaque, but at night when it lights up, the light behind it gets to come through the face. So, we have the option now of making a sign that is black during the day, or blue, or red, or a bunch of different colors, but at night, lights up white. Or you could make it red during the day and light up blue at night. Lots of options, but for Chavez Law, black but white at night is the way to go.
These are all the attorney's offices, and like I said, my son, he's in Bali right now, but this is his office. I like what he did over here with all the notable fugitives that you might recognize.
Oh, yeah.
Didn't that guy set a forest fire?
You got Bugsy Siegel, you got Gotti, you got Frank Sinatra, you got, all these notable people. Obviously he does my criminal law.
I hope they're not his heroes.
No, not at all. They just notorious,
Yeah. But, so criminal defense?
Criminal defense, exactly.
Yeah, that's cool. I mean, it's yet another area. People often malign lawyers, but man, that is serious business.
Yeah, they always make fun of lawyers, but not at 2 o'clock in the morning. These are actual paralegals.
Okay.
So they're
Doing the research and
helping out
prepping
the
the
attorneys.
case.
Probably the most important jobs that we all have here are they.
Yeah.
Keep us straight and this is our law firm.
Well, that's cool.
Chavez Law has these 2 chimneys on the front of the building, encased in stone. Turns out the stone's quite structurally sound to mount the sign off of, but we actually did use a spanner piece of frame that in between the 2 chimneys that tied the sign back to the main building also. So anyway, have a sign, be open for business, need a good lawyer, Chavez Law.
Wow, it's an amazing sign. The company did a good work on this. I like it a lot.
It turned out great. I came actually here at 3 o'clock in the morning and looked at the sign, and it was phenomenal. I took pictures of it. It looks like it lit up the whole block. It was nice.
How has your interaction with signs manufacturing been?
It's been great. Juan Carlos, I think he went on vacation one time and he answered my phone. I was like, hey, I'll get back to you when I get back. So, and I understand that completely, but he was answering his phone call. So they're very attentive for sure. Well, our website is chavez-lawfirm.com, and you can interact with an assistant at all times through that website. We also have a blog in that website that provides certain legal advice, opinions. Can't give legal advice necessarily, but it just gives you some scenarios that people can, if they need questions answered, can probably have it answered that way.